All right, we are here today with Natalie Watts of A Place at Home Little Rock, A Place at Home Hot Springs, and A Place at Home Northwest Valley. No, Northeast Valley, Scottsdale area,
Yes.
right? And new location. So I'm just getting used to the name myself. And she is an OG. We've done a lot of these videos in the last couple of months with a lot of like newbies or 1 years or 2 years. We're going all the way back in time to the top performing owner at A Place at Home. Natalie, nice to see you.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are in, where are you in Little Rock right now?
I'm in Hot Springs today.
Hot Springs. Awesome. Well, I'm looking at your numbers here. I always like to give it out. You're still growing by 22% year over year. I don't know if you noticed that. You're doing about, what is it? 2,500? No, almost 2,500 billable hours a week in care, which is double our second place person, which is Fatima Capacity is in second place out of Ohio.
There
Girl
you
power,
go.
rocking and rolling. And you've come a long way. You have 3 locations. You're taking vacations. You're having fun. You're still living the dream. And so I'm excited to interview you today. So welcome.
Well, thank you. Excited to
All
be here.
right. Well, let's jump in. I'm going to go back to the far beginning, which is kind of hard to think that was back in 2019,
I
6 years
know.
in. What was your first? What was the first thing that sparked your interest in joining A Place at Home?
So for me, it was actually very clear. I did not come from this industry at all, came from telecommunications. Husband and I were both given the opportunity to find work elsewhere through a layoff. And I didn't want to go back into the corporate world. So he took care of that. And I decided that I wanted to bet on myself this time. I wanted more out of my job and to give more to my job, being the last career move that I made. So it was very clear and apparent to me when we started going through the process. We were looking at a couple of very large, well-known companies who had, a successful playbook that worked from the East Coast to the West Coast, big metropolitan down to rural areas. You get the whole spiel.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at A Place at Home, which at the time I would be the sixth franchisee to sign up. So very small and not the proven playbook, but it was very clear going through that process that in knowing myself and being willing to bet on myself, I had to look in the mirror. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What area or company or business would I be willing to bet on myself? And it came up that I know myself, like I said, I know myself, my strengths and weaknesses, and I am a very good big fish, small pond kind of person. Due to experiences in my high schools that I had gone to, due to experiences within the workplace in telecommunications, it's how I perform in the culture that I'm in. So when Philip and I started talking with you and Jared specifically, I knew immediately the connection was there, the core values matched completely, and I could be a big fish in a small pond scenario. So I knew I would shine, and you guys were open and willing to let me be able to say I wanted to build this, but I also wanted to give back feedback to you guys to then help and grow the brand as a whole, not just my location. And that was very important to me because you guys were new too, and I knew we could help each other. And when I go in, I'm all in, and I'm all in for the brand, right? I bleed this brand, and it is because I was given the opportunity to play such a big role.
absolutely. I would still say you're a big fish in a lake now. We have a very
Yeah,
big pool of franchise owners. Um, and you know, I just to give you your guys' kudos on the top five. Thank you for believing in us. We couldn't have done it without you guys. Someone had to be the first fish in the small pond. And then it gave us the opportunity to set out to do and say and do what we set out to do with this brand, and and grow it to where it's become. So
that's
I
right.
want to thank you for that. I've always valued that. We've done very well together, not just in a place at home. We keep on always looking at stuff.
That's right.
So let's go to number two. Can you remember the moment when you thought this is what I'm meant to do?
I do. And it's funny because there is an exact precise moment where Philip and I were sitting down and talking and trying to figure out what kind of business that I was willing to bet on myself to be successful in. And we were naming all kinds of stuff. I mean, just throwing stuff at the wall to see what stuck, right? But the second he mentioned senior care, something, I mean, you know, where they say you have a light bulb that goes off over your head? I swear everyone could see that light bulb. I mean, it just clicked. And all the memories started flooding back from the early 90s when my grandmother had to be moved into a nursing home. There was nothing wrong with that woman, and she hated it so very much moving outside of her home with her belongings and her whole world into a hospital bed, shared room nursing home, and she willed herself to die in 7 months. And I remember back then saying, there's got to be a better solution. Every bit of that came up in my mind the second he mentioned senior care.
Huh.
And from that point on, our franchise consultant and you guys, everything lined up. And it was just like God just put a stepping stone in front of me and highlighted it. And I knew where to step. And it just kept happening over and over and over. Not to say that it was easy, the path to get to where, you know, to signing the dotted line. It
Mhm.
was just well lit and identified to where I knew 100% that this is what I needed to be doing. This is what I should be doing, and got me very excited to be, this is what I want to go do. And when you want to go do something, you're going to make it happen. So we got all of that with one sentence on what about senior care?
Nice. Yeah, and you're so right. You have to have a reason to do this. We always talk about our whys. You know, maybe you can validate this. I talk to candidates and I always tell them, in order to be successful, you have to have a reason or a passion to do this business. You can't just jump in and think that you can make it work because you're good at sales or because you're good at managing people. Like, you're going to have hard days, and you always got to sometimes look back at why you got in this to get through it. And then when you have great days, it makes it that much better. Right. So I don't know if you agree with that or
Oh,
disagree.
yeah, absolutely.
So, what did success mean to you back then, and how has that definition changed to today as you open 3 locations?
So, success when I first started was basically the opportunity to serve others.
Okay.
That's it. I didn't put a dollar amount on it. I didn't put a size on it. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I didn't want to put boundaries or limitations or a cap on anything either, whether it be way too high or way too low. I didn't want numbers associated with it or dollar signs. And so it was just, success was the opportunity to serve others, whether they are coming in for employment or we're helping a family and a senior out with their daily needs of care. So that's what it looked like. As well as when I got into it, success was being able to work one of my 12-hour days without busting into tears or calling you. That was success. because you helped me through so much during those days, right? Oh my gosh, you were right by my side. And today, 6 years later, success is the same with the opportunity of being able to serve others, but my audience has changed. So, me serving others now is me being able to build and create a team, a highly functional team that is able to help others and then grow to be the best they could be. That's what success is for me now.
Awesome. No, I mean, you got a great team out there. You have one of the best retention of inner office staff I've seen. Had the pleasure to hang with them, talk to them, make jokes with them. They always love my dad jokes. Maybe they laugh because, I'm friends with you, but
They do. I heard Melanie gave you a dad joke the other day.
she
Or was
did.
it this week?
No, it's just 2 days ago. Gosh, I don't remember it though. It was good. Dang it. I'm gonna have to get it from her. But anyway,
Absolutely.
she did I tell you the one, or what is a buff? Did she tell you the one I told her? What is a buffalo
She
tell?
did. She did. That was cute.
Oh, good.
I'm cheesy like that, though. I love all your dad jokes. They make me laugh.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. You got to find the fun. Which is let's go on to fueling the fire. What keeps the fire going? After all these years and now 3 locations, 2,500 billable hours a week, multiple millions of dollars in care a year, what still gets you fired up every day?
What gets me fired up every day is the impact that we have on others. That it's amazing. So, I mean, our whole life on this earth, it's built of relationships, right? And you foster those relationships and communication and having positive or negative impacts on other people's lives. So, if you boil it down, the being able to have that positive impact in someone else's life and be able to solve the current problem at hand is exactly what gets me fired up all day long, being a problem solver.
Awesome.
And knowing what we do matters. It matters to so many.
It does, especially in your market. I mean, you got great brand presence, so and great reviews, over 40 reviews. Which talks about client experience. Is there a particular moment of client experience that recharged your passion recently?
There's so many, honestly. But the latest, I guess, was last Wednesday. We had a client turn 100, and that's a big deal these days, right? And being a part of that and helping him be able to still have functioning life and meaningful life at that age with his family, that's something huge. It gets me fired up.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I want to know, you know what I should look into? Who the oldest client a place at home's ever had. I wonder if I can find that out.
We had 103.
I had I know that Jessica has an active 103 right now.
Nice.
So I wonder if there's a 105. That'd be nice. That's a big one. What part of being a franchise owner brings you the most joy, even on the busiest days?
Hands down, the people on my immediate team. Being able to watch them grow and work with you to feed them leadership classes if that's what they need, or in anything, just being able to watch them grow, watch their passion for the company grow, and them being able to, for me to help them can't even speak. So sorry. For me to be able to help them be the best that they can be in their role.
Awesome. You are a major leader. You're the FAC. You're big time, and then your term limit ran out. Dang it! But we got good FAC members in here now.
Yes.
And I don't know if Nalima called you or Adam called you after the last FAC. Adam or Nalima was like, I always used to feel bad for Natalie and Jerome making all these phone calls, but after coming here to Omaha and seeing what they got in return, I don't feel so bad anymore.
You guys spoil us for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
she, yeah. We took her on the boat. We had Alec, that private chef, come in.
Mm.
He was pampered.
Specialty cocktails.
We did. I can't remember the one we made. It was they always do a bourbon base and
Tequila.
he didn't do tequila. He did a vodka based.
Oh.
One was okay. The other one was pretty good, but the one was all right. I wouldn't drink it more than once. I can't remember. I have to get that. But all right, growing pains and grit. This one I think hits both of us pretty well, and a lot of people need to hear it. Scaling a business to 3 locations is no small feat. What's one hard-earned lesson you've learned along the way?
You have to teach your team to fish.
Okay.
You got to teach them how to fish, because you cannot wear every single hat and grow your business at all. You'll get burned out, and it just doesn't work. At the beginning, you have to, and you're forced to, which is very humbling, right? You get to learn every role before you hire for that. But you don't want to wear every hat in your business. And me as an owner, my pure philosophy is I will hire out every role that I fill. I don't want a permanent role in anything. I will hire every single role out to where I am then can work on the business and with my team on what they want to work on, because I don't have another agenda. They are my agenda.
Awesome. That's great. I mean, I'll give you my hard-earned lesson with trying to manage a home care business from afar down in Jacksonville is you're right. I took it for granted. I thought I would put people in, I'd meet with them like once a month, check in, and it wasn't working. And now I talk to Lindsay probably every day. She called me during this spotlight just to check in. And we got surveyed yesterday.
Oh.
And a few deficiencies, but ultimately we passed, thank God.
Oh, very good.
But she's getting it going there. But I learned some hard lessons there over the last year and a half. You have to have your finger on the pulse is the number one thing I would say.
Yes.
You want to give your team the leeway, but you got to hold them accountable.
That's right.
Which goes to number 8. Can you share a learning the hard way moment that made you a better leader?
Oh, very humbling moment. Absolutely. Being open, let's see. It was maybe a year and a month, and had a caregiver call me. It's still just me, my nurse, and my director of operations. So just 3 of us, very busy still learning how to run a business, and COVID had just hit 3 months or 4 months earlier. So a year and 1 month in, and this caregiver demands a meeting with me. And so, of course, open door policy, come in anytime. And she sits down, and she's an excellent caregiver, and she is beyond frustrated and disappointed, and started talking to me that I did not have a performance evaluation program.
Oh, yeah.
I did not recognize her 1-year anniversary. She got a raise, but there wasn't any type of review. There wasn't any type of recognition or acknowledgement. And I just sat there in awe of her and thanked her so much for coming in and bringing that to my attention, because I am wearing so many hats and a brand new business owner. And I, did not even think about that at the caregiver level. And so I humbly owned it. It was my fault. They are the heartbeat of our entire company. We do not exist without our caregivers. And she taught me a very valuable lesson. And they have a voice, and we listen to the voice of our caregivers. And they have a feedback box, and we change and bend and pivot to make sure that they are satisfied as well. And they are happy with the work that they're doing and the company that they're coming to work for. So that was very eye-opening and humbling, and I felt so bad. But I'm up here trying to be this owner and working with, trying to build power partners and, networking, and at that level and with clients, that I forgot about my caregiver, the most important part of the company.
Yeah, it can happen. You get so busy, you start losing sight. And it's another thing too, like on your situation, it was a review, but how much, when I go to online and I talk to new owners who when I get on, they just start talking about all the bad caregivers, right? Like, not all, there's not a lot, right? It's like 10%. Everyone has a caregiver story that's just like, my goodness, you're not going to get away from that. But they get so fixated on that, and they never tend to realize who is the good one, who's like your best one. And let's focus your energy on those ones. Don't put the negative energy on the bad ones all the time. And so that sometimes they lose sight, or they become jaded with like burnout, because all they do is fixate on woe was me, this caregiver did this to me. Well, the other 20 didn't, right? So make sure that you're always focused on them. So
that's right.
Yeah. What's something you used to stress about as an owner that now rolls off your back? I'm interested to hear this one.
Actually, in all honesty, the ebbs and flows.
Sure.
I used to live my life by the daily numbers of the ebbs and flows. And it's a house of cards, and we're going to be shutting down if I can't get these up, on an hourly basis. And then, oh, we're flying high and everything's great. I finally got over that, and it's okay. And I will look a couple times a week at our hours, and that's it, because it doesn't dictate everything. I mean, it definitely steers you in one direction or another, but it doesn't make or break your whole entire company. And you're going to have ebbs and flows. It's the business that we're in, right?
Sure.
But it doesn't have to wreck your whole world.
Well, I look at your hourlies all the time still, so don't worry.
You'll tell me.
I see in this quarter you're at 12,702 hours. Year to date, you're at, I don't have the hours, but I have the revenue. It's 2.398 this year thus far, which is a 22.4% growth.
All right.
Yeah,
halfway through at 2.2. Okay.
Yeah, rolling. Well, let me get off that now. I always have it open. Team and culture. All right, team culture and community impact. So what's something that makes your team truly one of a kind? Any inside jokes, traditions you guys do? What is it?
So let's see, one of a kind. In today's world, our number one rule, and everyone will tell you, everyone who gets hired gets this speech as well. There is absolutely no drama in our office. No drama. I don't care how great you are at your job, if you're the one creating drama, you'll be the one to leave. We are all compassionate human beings that get up and get dressed and come to work every single day to pick up the phone or answer emails, and we're solving problems. If that phone rings, someone has a problem. Either they need a job, they have a flat tire and can't get to their position that day, client looking for help, a family member that's stressed out, a business partner that needs help with something. You're problem solving. And you don't need drama in the office that's going on when you're already dealing with everyone else's problems all day. You need to be able to turn around to your coworkers and collaborate and, let stuff fall off your shoulders and maybe somebody else can pick that up. But we are a team. We are a united team. And I tell my staff, I could care less if you guys like each other. I really could. But you are each a gear that cannot make this machine function if another gear is not working with you, because you're all intertwined, right? And then the gears have to be able to move. And that means every gear is also moving. To make this machine run on a daily basis, everyone needs to be functioning at the same capacity, and there is absolutely zero drama in the office, because it stops that one gear which shuts down the whole machine. So you got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That is something that is very unique to our office, full of 9 women.
I'm going to leave it at that and not go any further. But do you guys have a no drama llama? Do you have a llama?
Yeah, that's the rule.
How do you keep your team motivated and connected? Like, how do you keep Melanie and Doretta and Donna and everybody on the same page? Because they're far. They're 45 minutes to an hour away.
Hour 15. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they got to work.
So it really starts with culture. I'm really big on culture, and creating that culture where you have a very, very clear mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, everyone is there solving problems, doing the same thing in all their different ways, but we have a very clear mission. We also are great with communication. So we utilize chat like crazy to be able to keep the office in the loop, everybody's individual conversations that are going on. I always say there's 4 things. If you answer that phone, nobody's job is difficult. It can get hectic, but it's not difficult. You answer that phone, there are 4 things that you have always got to take care of. You have to make sure that WellSky is updated. You have to make sure the caregiver involved knows that information or the change. You have to make sure the client that's impacted knows that information and the change. And you have to update the office staff. So you answer that call, you're taking notes on those four things have to happen, or there's 4 action items out of every call. So you hang up that call and the phone rings again, and you now have 8. So 4 phone calls in, you have 16 action items. It gets hectic. We have to be very clear and open with our communication. And so we put things in place to make it easy on them. That is my role, in a sense, is I'm the gopher. I eliminate obstacles in their way to being the best they can be on a daily basis and helping the most people.
Awesome. You're doing a great job. Your team is rowing the boat in the same direction, and that's important. So
very much so.
To you. You're probably better at it than I am.
No one's better than you.
Oh, don't say that. Trust me. Your community, your community has clearly. You know what? I'm going to go back and say I am pretty good though. Your community has clearly embraced you. What do you think sets your agency apart locally?
So we've positioned ourselves to be the Southern boutique customizable service, right? So we all have huge hearts. We've got the Southern charm. Boutique as in we are one-on-one. We come into your home. We're holding your hand, and we are partners with the family throughout this whole process. We are not assuming responsibility for your loved one, and we are here to hold your hand so you don't have all the responsibility of your loved one, but you form that partnership. So that the customizable services, we are always available. We are out in the community, and everyone in the office is empowered to make decisions. So that's a huge one, right? Because you get stopped on the phone. If you are a care coordinator and you're the one answering the phone the most, and you get a problem that you can't solve, but you probably could have solved, you're putting that person on hold, It's another warm handoff or cold handoff, and transferring them, or someone will get back to you. That it's not efficient. I always think of the efficiencies to help our business run. But if you train and empower your staff so that everyone's a recruiter, everyone's a marketer, everyone's a problem solver, then they keep it moving and things get solved right there in that initial phone call. You're not passed around. Our community knows that. Our clients know that. Our caregivers know that. Not necessarily just a one-stop shop, because there are some things that some people aren't going to know or going to be the expert in helping them with. If someone needs our RN, they need our RN. But if something's going on in the household and they're calling, my care coordinator can solve just as many problems as I can.
Sure. And that's what I love about your team. That what you said there is that everyone can do an intake call. Everyone can do a recruiting call. Anyone can probably do an interview. You have your roles, but cross-training people is very, very important. I think that's what's key in getting into a bigger organization, or becoming a bigger organization, in home care specifically, because that phone rings. You don't want the scheduler to be, all right, hey, that's for you. You know what I mean? And then your care coordinators are getting bombarded constantly, right?
That's right.
So well, let's go on to the next segment here, looking back and paying it forward. If you could sit down with your 2019 self right before opening your first location, what advice would you give yourself?
Be patient.
Be patient. And I second that. You were the owners, I still use your story because I obviously was your coach, and all the new owners who are in here, they want it so badly, and I love it. And it's just like, you guys got to stick to the script. There's a handful that I've had to call personally, like, the sky is falling, and I'm just like, guys, you've been doing this for 2 months, right? Like, it could take you 4 or 5 months. I think it was for you. It took three months to get your first client, maybe
6 weeks. 6 weeks exactly. Yeah.
6 weeks, and that's a month and a half. And like you're really, really good and picked it up really fast. And you had me as a coach, but they call me all the time and they're like, it's just not happening. I'm like, stick to the script. Keep hitting play. Sam always rings a bell in my head. Like, he was so impatient, and Jocelyn, and he's just like, gosh, it just feels like I'm doing nothing. And I'm like, but you are doing a lot. And then all of a sudden, bam, a lead came in, bam, a lead came in, bam, a lead came in. Then he's like, they're not converting. Well, you got 7 prospects sitting there. Then all of a sudden, 1 converted, 2 converted, 3 converted. And you're like, see? And that's what I try to teach people now, is like, you got to stack your referral source meetings so that you have 100 referral sources entered. And you may not get a referral out of those 100 that you entered, but all of a sudden now you start getting prospects, and you have 20 prospects sitting in your funnel, and you may not have converted any of those, but then all of a sudden you convert 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then you're getting going. And then you're on the other side of the coin, where all of a sudden someone dies and another one dies, and you're like, dang. Like, just happens, right? It's part of the process. And what's one thing you wish every new franchisee knew from the beginning?
This is a 24/7 business.
Yes, I'm not going to put that publicly either, but it is a 24/7 business for sure. It gets easier once you get a team, but when it's just you.
But for those new owners that don't realize that, it's a 24/7 business, and you're signing up for that. And if you're the only hat in the office, then you're the 24/7.
Absolutely. Everyone's gone to a shift or two. For anyone dreaming about growing to multiple locations, what's your real talk advice for scaling smartly?
So I would say, get your location, your original location, to the point where they can function without you in a certain role before you scale and open your second. And in building your second, Don't do it the same as the first because you're playing the primary role. Hire those roles out and then go one step further. Don't be afraid to hire people that are smarter and better than you in that area to take your team to the next level.
100%. Couldn't have said it better. Even, from my point of view in the franchise, like I put a lot of money in to the coaches and national accounts with Jennifer. Like, let's go. Come with ideas. I hate being the person in the meeting that's like coming up with all the ideas, and then I just have people who are like, all right, well, let's do those. And it's like, no. Like, eventually your team has to bring the solutions to the problems.
That's right.
So, well, that is all. Like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go off the cuff here. I asked Jessica Dale this question the other day. What role would you say did the franchisor, what was the biggest role the franchisor played in your success?
You were my whole support system. I mean, you were training, you helped us get licensed, you helped us get credentialed with the VA, you helped talk me through my talk track to sign my first client, you helped with our assessments, you helped with all of the platforms that we use. I mean, you personally, which I know that you can't do that now as we scale as a brand, but personally, you were my entire support system, my coach, my mentor, everything.
Thanks. And we did really well. And we're still doing well.
We did well.
And
we are doing well.
Our
and
new
we will
owners
continue to do well.
Our new owners have great support. I'm there on a different level, right?
Yeah.
They got their coaches, but I'm always watching.
Well, there's so much more support. You guys have gone wide now, right? Because you had to hire your staff to fill your roles so that you could work on the business. And there's all of that same support. It's just not the actual CEO of the franchise that's helping.
Yeah, right. Let's do some fun and finals. Are you ready?
Okay.
What's your unofficial title around the office other than boss?
You ready?
Yeah.
Gopher.
Gopher? Why?
Because I'm the gopher. Like I said, I've hired all my roles out. I don't have a specific role at the office. My role is determined each day by what my leadership team needs, or an obstacle that they can't get past, or a vision that they need help talking through. But I don't have a job each day when I wake up until I talk to them and find out what they need help with. So I'm their gopher. I do everything that they need so that they can be the best they can be.
Awesome. All right. I like that. Gopher. I'll write that down. What's your guilt? Let me see if I can get this right. Hold on. I'm going to guess this one. What's your guilty pleasure after a long day? I'm going to say a jalapeno beer from Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes, absolutely. So actually, my answer is a cocktail out on the patio, sitting and talking through the day with my husband. Philip and I, oh my gosh, our dreams are born out on that patio, and we have our cocktail hour and go through different drinks. I will say, we were in Iowa last week. They do not have a jalapeno beer. I think Omaha might be the only state that does. So I couldn't bring any back with me, and I was very disappointed.
Should have driven through Omaha. It's not that off the beaten path.
No.
And we could have done dinner.
Damn. I know, and we thought about it, but it was 3.5 hours, and I was like, well, that's a 7-hour day right there.
Not to apologize to Philip, he did call me. I missed it, and then I saw it late at night and went to bed. And
we just were calling to say hi.
I was like, huh. I woke up
the next day with the cocktail.
Not my bad. I missed it. I didn't see it till the night, and I was like, I'll call him in the morning. And then my day got going with kids, and I totally forgot.
Jared answered, so we got to talk to him for a bit.
Well, that's good. That's good. Get some Jerry time.
Well, everybody calls you with problems, right? You said it yourself. So our full intention was, let's just call to say hi and tell them how much that we love them and how happy we are.
Hey,
Because
you know
I
what?
know they don't get those kinds of phone
I
calls.
do appreciate those. I appreciate calls. I make this as short, Ashley. Note to self. I'm going to start over. I do appreciate calls to tell me some great things, right? Hey, I got my first client. Hey, I just signed another client. Hey, my hours are this. Like I don't have, that's one thing right now that I miss because I'm not coaching people in
Right.
directly. So they're going to their coach and telling them that. But I still like to see it, right? You still send me a G chat every once in a while crossing this threshold. Um,
Absolutely.
I would say the one person that reminds me the most, I'm going to put it out there, Fatima. She probably texts me every other day saying
Oh,
24/7s. And I'm like, nice. And then like a day later, one of them died. I'm like, ah. And now
oh,
she's a nervous wreck. She's going to India. She just signed 2 new territories to
I
expand
saw that.
in Dublin. And she's leaving for India. And she has Shane. Shane's her coach. And she texts me and she goes, I know Shane's gonna be watching my location. But can you call in to Daniel every once in a while? I'm like, sure.
Oh,
Nervous. But then she
huh?
also said, I just pay a franchise fee, so I'm broke and I can't buy Louis. I said, nah, I go earn it in your new territories. If you had a franchise superpower, what would it be?
So I thought long and hard about this. I say my superpower would be the heart speaker.
Hard speaker?
So, and I try to hone in on this and identify, like, well, not identify, being able to read people, um, and knowing the right thing to say to help them at the source and being able to see the difference, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people complain, but they're just complaining about something that has nothing to do with the source of the problem or how to fix it. And being able to understand that, where they're coming from, why are they in this position, what are they really upset about or trying to fix, because it's most likely not what they're talking about to me, and then helping them from the source. That would be my superpower.
Awesome. I would agree. I would agree with that. I missed this one. Describe your team in one word.
My team, angels.
Angels.
My angels are out there doing God's work every single day in every action that, I mean, in their personal life and professional life. They're angels. That's an easy one.
Awesome. What's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I feel like people would be surprised to know that truly in my heart, I am an introvert, very much so.
Scope
I
the
force
room.
myself to be the extrovert and social, but I am that whole small pond. I like a small group of people or myself. I am very comfortable with being by myself and just I don't know, I don't like the big, large crowds and being in front of the screen. I would much rather be behind the black curtain.
Nice. Well, you look great outside behind the curtain, Oz. So,
Thank you.
um, to be honest, I'm an introvert myself until I get comfortable. So, like, I can speak in front of the franchisees because I know all of them, but I don't like doing speeches or talk in front of like HCOA or like Well Sky conferences or anything like that. They ask me to do them, and I'll do them, but it's hit or miss if I do well or not because I get up there and I actually get really nervous. It's crazy.
Me
So,
too. Me too.
but I'm happy in my bubble, and a place home is my bubble. So,
And you're
um,
the master.
yeah, I try to be. I try to be, but I can't do it without you or anybody else in the system. Um, but yeah, no, I appreciate your time, Natalie. That's an hour on the dot.
Look at
That's
you
all I
go.
got.